All right, the 49ers round check is back, and let the offseason begin, guys. It feels great that, hey, the previous years, a team that's beat the Niners in the playoffs, they've actually eventually won the Super Bowl, right? But what
Not the
happened?
Eagles. Not the Eagles.
What happened?
Nope, man. Hey, I was more pulling for the Chiefs because the Eagles they didn't deserve it because of our quarterback situation. And Brandon IU was right. He said, "Man, the Chiefs are going to exploit their defense," and they did. And Debo Samuel called Bradbury the corner, a couple of days ago. He said he's trash. And yesterday, his costly penalty, I don't want to say it cost him the game, but it was a big key in that, to decide the game. And he grabbed the receiver and all that. So, hey, man, the Chiefs they won again. Mahomes moves into my top 10 all-time quarterbacks with this one already because he's been that unbelievable. And I wanted us to draft him in 2017, man. I'm still mad we took Solomon Thomas.
Yeah.
I was very high on Mahomes, but hey, he's a hell of a player, and his offensive line protected him. Their defense, play a little better in the second half than they did in the first half as far as stopping the run. Like Hurts had a lot of time. He was running a lot. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Chicago Mike Sports Talk. I'm drinking his drink. Hey,
Dude, Hurts actually threw for 304 yards and rushed for 70 yards. I believe they had around 400 total.
he ran for multiple touchdowns too, so he had like multiple rushing.
So, I mean, he was the majority of their offense. Kansas City, I was looking at them like, dude, you can't stop anything, But the Eagles, they showed up, they played, they lost. And Kansas City missed a field goal in the first half. I have to say that right now.
Yeah, I think kicking field goals don't matter no more now because these kickers are, dude.
Can't even make nothing, man. Struggle.
So speaking of the offseason, man, let this shit kick in, and I guess the curse has been lifted. The Rocky statue has been lifted. The Chiefs fan actually did the statue part. It didn't do nothing for them. It didn't do nothing for the Eagles.
Oh, I was gonna say that I haven't seen the video of the Chiefs jersey on the statue yet. That hasn't happened.
No, it's happened.
It happened. Yeah, I seen
it. It happened like weeks, like a few days ago or something like that. They showed me a picture of it where that one Chiefs fan just puts in the uniform and does this part or something.
Yep, he had a little Chiefs gear on, a little Chiefs top.
Yeah, I'll show you the picture. It was on there.
Okay,
but it was that it took a lot of stones for that guy to do it, but.
Well, I mean, Philadelphia, their poor fan base. They lose what? The World Series. Didn't they lose the UFL or the UFSL title?
The Philadelphia team. Yeah. Hey, we got my boy Big Mac Sports. We got my boy Big Mac.
Lost this dude in the last 3 months. They have literally lost 3 championships. Or is it 3 months?
Yeah, it's been going on. But hey, let's welcome our guests and a guy that will be coming into the show more often. Big Mac Sports, man. How's it going?
How's it going, everybody? Sorry,
man.
I couldn't get my onto my computer, so I'm just coming off my phone.
Oh, it's all good, bro. I know you probably have maybe about an hour to do before you get back to work, but hey, but what's the thing that matters now is we're not the victim of when teams beat us, they win Super Bowls. That's out the window.
First time it didn't happen.
Hey, you know what they say when they face the Niners? It takes them they lose the next game.
Yeah, that streak stayed alive.
0-16 actually, which is crazy.
Yep. So that's where we're at.
So
wow.
So we go from D'Amico Ryans to Steve Wilks, man. How is that transition going to be, bro? We get a veteran coach.
And a defensive backs coach.
Yep.
Yeah,
think about Hufanga, Lenore. Maybe we'll have an Ambry Thomas sighting this next season. I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying maybe.
Hey, he's gonna hopefully he fixes Hufanga's technique issues, and covers his lapses. I think he can, even improve Charvarius Ward. He played at a high level this year. he's probably gonna teach him a couple things. Leonore, he had games where he gave up plays, but he also, he made plays. Especially second half of the season, he showed strides at least. He didn't look terrible. You know what I'm saying, like compared to last year. So, strides, and I'm happy we got a DB guy now instead of, linebackers are great. Because D'Amico Ryans, he was a linebacker and he helped Warner be the best linebacker. Drake Greenlaw and Alshire, he might join him in Houston. Never know, but. I got a DB guy. I'm ready, and I like how he talks to the players because I've seen something, video of him. I like how he's a leader of men from what it seems. So that's all good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you know what I want to know? Like in the beginning of the season, Talanoa was making, like, he was hitting, and like towards the tailback of the season, it's almost like they were told not to hit like they did in the beginning of the year. Do you guys know anything about that? Like, because Eric Armstead could have smacked Dak Prescott in that game, and he didn't, and he said that because of he was thinking of fines and everything. I thought it was an excuse, but then you go back and you look at the games from the beginning of the year, they were hitting a lot different. So, what do you guys think about some of those things?
Man, that's tough. So the way we started off the season, it was getting physical, right? Like the way we were playing, then it just started changing up a little bit. Why would Armstead be scared of a freaking fine, man? Like, you got to get Dak Prescott for that safety at least.
Yeah, man. Hit him, slam him. I mean, I remember Hufanga blasted Jarrett Stidham though in that game against the Raiders. On that touchdown, unfortunately, but he got shot like a missile right into him. We got a physical defense regardless. I mean, they are worried about fines and penalties. He's got to have better technique. That's all.
Yeah, they can appeal all of those fines too. So, and most of the time they don't really pay them. But yeah, it's just watching all the games. Everybody towards the later half of the year, they weren't tackling, they weren't hitting like they did. That we're accustomed to seeing hits, like it was in the beginning of the year. So that was just something to think about.
Yeah, those hits were different. Like the way it was starting off, we were getting pretty physical in the beginning. Then it just started to get softer at that point. But O-line and D-line, that's been one of the – but I think defensive line's been one of our strengths if it didn't have to come with the injuries. But I don't know, Javon Kinlaw, man. I don't know what we can expect from this guy going forward. It doesn't seem like he's getting any better, man. He's always been held back, and it's always been the knee problem. And I think enough's enough with this guy, man. It's like we need this guy to be dependable, and if he can't be that guy, man, we got to figure out a way to move on.
It's over.
Yeah, man, he's a bust, man. He can't be drafting these D tackles that don't, they don't have no wiggle. He's powerful, of course, but he just doesn't jump off screen. He's not quick enough. He doesn't have a good technique, man. It's time to trade him for something, or I don't know, man. We need to upgrade the D tackle spot though next to Armstead. If there's a puncher's chance we get Buckner back. If not, maybe we get with Deron Payne or something in free agency.
And Deron Payne's going to expect a little bit more money, but there's a guy under the radar that you guys might want to be interested in checking out. This guy named Colin Sanders from the Chiefs. He's probably not going to expect big dollars, but if you saw how he played, good run stopper. He actually had a sack in the Super Bowl. I think he was the one that forced the fumble on Jalen Hurts.
No, Hurts actually kind of lost that, but yeah. Like he did jump off screen though because they stopped the run a lot.
But he's under the radar. He's not a guy that everybody talks about. Like, he's a good run stopper, same size as DJ Jones, a little more bigger, but a good run stopper. He's gotten better as a pass rusher. So you might want to consider him over Deron Payne because he's actually more of a natural D tackle, and he can eat up the running game.
I keep saying we need a big fella. And I don't – let's just mean, 300-ish pounds. I mean like 350, We need a big guy that's going to eat up that middle, that's going to take up space, that's going to take two blockers to contain. Because then it leaves Bosa, Armstead, and, say, Drake Jackson or whoever we get on the other edge to start one-on-one. And I'm pretty confident those guys are, Armstead and Bosa are going to win that one-on-one.
Yeah, the physicality matchup, the way they play, it's favorable. But here's a topic that everybody's been talking about during this offseason. I don't know about this. This would be a dumb discussion, but it's the kid. He's actually kind of like not lying. It's been a discussion, kind of like ridiculous. Does anyone see Lance getting traded? I mean, dude, it's like they've seen what they like from Purdy, and they think, oh, it's time for us to cut our losses with Trey. It would be dumb for us to trade him because what happens if Purdy gets injured again, or what if he doesn't even earn the starting job and he gets beat out by Trey even when he comes back healthy?
Well, that's exactly it. Why trade Trey Lance right now? He's still on his rookie deal. It's going to be the third season of his rookie deal, which means we have a decision to make next offseason on his fifth-year option.
We get to see what he can do.
Why should we trade him? When it comes down to it, we went through 4 quarterbacks this year.
It's a lot, dude.
So,
it's hard to overcome it with all those positions and all that stuff. So it's like why would we want to trade our quarterback when we really need the quarterback more than most teams, bro? So if you trade Trey Lance for whatever his value is it worth it? No. Then what happens if Brock Purdy isn't at a full 100%? What if he's not the same right now? What if he gets hurt again? You got to have another quarterback. So it's just, to me, it just doesn't make much sense to even trade the guy. He's on a rookie contract, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade Trey Lance because you see, like Steve Young, what happened with him? If you trade Trey Lance somewhere and he goes out there and he does what Brett Favre did, there's a lot of things that you got to look at with Trey Lance. He didn't get his chance yet, and I think I'm just like when Vernon Davis, he said it over last week that he thinks that Trey Lance is going to ball out this coming fall. So I say give him the chance that he didn't get, and we can, if we have Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, there's just Trey Lance is like, he's got a big arm, and we have weapons that he's going to help in. I definitely think Trey Lance to Gray, and if IU comes back, we're going to have just a ridiculous, crazy offense next year. That's I really think. Don't trade Trey Lance. We don't need him to go somewhere else and become like a Hall of Famer like Steve Young and Brett Favre did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just dumb. Plus, he's on a rookie contract. It would be dumb for us. Like, well, why? So we can go get a veteran quarterback that might cost a little more, or you draft a rookie who probably isn't ready. I mean, you're not going to find another Brock Purdy overnight or another quarterback like that. So Trey Lance is a different type of quarterback. If you develop him the right way, he might be as good, if not better, than Jalen Hurts. So, you've just seen the difference. When Jalen Hurts was in Philadelphia, it took him until his third year to elevate, right? His second year, he was getting some experience. His third year, he started taking this team to the next level. So you can't expect Trey to be all that great overnight. So, and here's an interesting question. I like his question as far as also who would replace Ward and McGlinchey, man. You want to answer that, David? Give me your answer on those two, and then you want Antonio, and then Mac. You guys give me one of your answers on those guys.
So when it comes to McGlinchey, I'm pretty sure Mikovits could fill in admirably just fine. We'll re-sign Daniel Brunskill because he's a good versatile piece off the bench. But honestly, I see us either with Mikovits or Zakel. One of those two are going to be replacing him.
Mikovits, I can see that happen.
Hey, he played pretty good when Trent Williams was hurt back in 2021. We didn't see much of him this year, but he played pretty good in that time frame. So, I mean, we have it. That might be why they drafted Zakel, to groom him for a year. Just kind of like what happened with Aaron Banks, right?
Yeah.
He sat for a season. He learned the offense, and look at how good Aaron Banks did. So hopefully Zakel ends up being the same way. when it comes to Ward, we could hopefully Gibson decides not to retire and we're able to re-sign him for this next season. But I mean, Jimmy Ward was in there, making plays. He did get burned at nickel quite a bit. I honestly think we could draft a safety to replace him.
Oh, dude. So what I heard about a safety that's available, dude, is since the Eagles are going to be dead on money, bro, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is going to be out there.
I seen him lay hits last night. Ooh,
dude, that dude was laying some hits out there, dude. I think he plays free safety, right? He plays free safety, but he hits pretty hard.
That's one.
Yeah. Well, do we have a strong safety? I thought our defense, we kind of play like two hybrid safeties that can, switch out and do both.
No, but Gardner does like free safety nickel. So he does everything kind of like Jimmy Ward.
Okay. Yeah, he was laying wood. I mean, I'll get him for the right price, but me personally, we got three third round compensatory picks, and I would like to get a right tackle to replace McGlinchey.
That makes sense. Get one in the draft. Maybe you can groom this kid to be a starter. But for safety, who would you want to replace Jimmy Ward, or would you want to bring him back?
I'll bring back Tayshaun Gibson. I think he got another good year in him. He got 5 picks this year. Showed great leadership, man. Like, he was a Pro Bowler with the Browns. He was excellent with the Jags. So, he's always been a good player, and he's surprised a lot of people with his playing at a high level this year. So, he's damn near kind of like how Dante Whitner was as far as like just playing good, just like surprising people.
Oh, dude, he came back to the old way he was playing, like when he was playing at a Pro Bowl level that year. But so for Big Mac, man, so what do you think? Who would you want to replace McGlinchey and Ward?
Well, with your same guy from the Eagles, I would look at him replacing Ward and McGlinchey. We need somebody from in the draft. So I think I said this plenty of times, but I think the guy that I would want them to get is the right tackle from BYU or the right tackle from Ohio State.
Freeland?
Yeah, Freeland. Yep.
There's this other guy that I checked out in the draft, Luke Hager from Indiana. I heard he's pretty solid big tackle. And then there's this Galvin, what's his name? Galvin from Baylor, that tackle. Decent. Wayne Morris, you might want to take a flyer on him from Oklahoma. He's got some potential, kind of like the same size as Trent Williams.
Yeah, and they got that big guy over there at Ohio State too. He's huge.
Howard, right? I think it's Howard.
I had his name. I had everything written
Jones,
down.
I think it's Hawanda Jones or something, but big dude. 400 pounds?
6'9".
6'9", 400 freaking pounds, bro.
Damn, can he move?
And he can move.
He can move like Mark Henry and knock the brick wall, dude. I don't know.
He can move.
But is he athletic? That's the question. If he can move.
He can move. He's but I don't know if he's even gonna fall out of the first round. But I think Freeland, he might be in the second round. So I don't know. It just all depends.
You wouldn't have got a second round pick.
I think the kid from Baylor might be available. Galvin, he might be a good option there.
Yeah, but just like we just got to get those picks that we picked up and just package them and send them out and attach Kinlaw to that too.
Dude, I highly doubt we'll get somebody like Orlando Brown because that dude's gonna expect a lot of money and that dude's big too. I don't know. Yeah. But if for whatever reason, you know how Shanahan is, he might just keep a certain people around like McGlinchey, which I hate to see it happen, but it's possible. You never know.
Hey, there's some head scratchers from before of what they've done. So if it happens, then they've done it before.
Good question, Side Jin. I think we currently have 11, I believe, right? 11 or 10 draft.
11 picks.
Okay, so 11 picks. So it's mostly it's the late third round picks we get from those compensatory picks, and then we got I don't know what.
Hey, keep in mind they won't announce all that stuff until after free agency, and we've had our losses and gains.
Yeah,
We might pick up an extra 5th or 6th. So.
Yeah,
Those are valuable with this franchise because John Lynch, he's shown he can find some gems in the late rounds, 5th, 6th round.
Yep.
You know,
that's where we're usually getting all those blue chip players at, is either in the 3rd and 5th round. So 3rd and 5th round to later rounds, we find those guys like I don't know. I did a lot of the mock drafts, dude, and there's not really like quite much of those other guys you can get, man. Like there's like the one player I like in the draft that if you were to draft him, he should be in between the early 4th rounds, but he can be in the late 3rd round by the compensatory picks. And yeah, they have back to back. Yep, I think we have it from the 101 and the 100. I mean, what is it? The 101 pick, and I believe the 102 pick. That's back to back, and we have the 99 pick.
Yeah,
So
99 pick.
Yeah, I do mock drafts and all that stuff. But there's this one guy that I definitely want, but he should be available in the draft. Man, that center from Arkansas, I think he should be in that spot. Ricky Stombird. I like him. Then there's that pass rusher I like. The draft kind of seems to overrate the talent-wise, but there's some defensive line guys I like. Is Jalen Redmond from Oklahoma. He can be a good rotation on the D-line, kind of like a Medahu, but just got that motor. Let's see. Jose Ramirez from Eastern Michigan. He's got some upside, but you probably have to like trade down a little bit. And I guess in those mock draft prediction, they have him as a 4th round, but he can move up draft boards. He probably move up to the 3rd round or higher.
Yeah.
So we have the 99th picked, 100 and 101. So we have 3 3rd-round picks all in a row.
Yeah, impossible getting a cornerback like Rajon Wright, man. I don't know what's been going on with that guy, but I've been trying to get in contact with him. I think it has to do with his combine training and all that stuff. So he might get back to me pretty soon. But it's like, I'm not going to be like most people and just keep bugging him for that. I'm just going to let it play out itself. He'll get back to me. He followed me on Twitter, so I think that's another possible need is cornerback depth. And, of course, getting safety can be another priority. There's this kid from Georgia named Chris Smith. He has the same size, kind of like Jimmy Ward, but he's got the ball hawk skills. There's this, I think, Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame. I think he should be available there. And then there's another safety from, I believe, from Ohio State named Ronnie Hickman.
Okay, shoot. Hey, we probably need like another safety for like backup. A little youngster in there. We need a couple edge rushers, man. Getting Nick Bosa some help. I know we did draft Drake Jackson, but hopefully he can, work on some technique. Chris Kosaric, work with him because he has a lot of talent. So, and if there's a small chance, hey, I wonder if we can trade for Chase Young because Washington might not pick up his 5th-year option. You know what I'm saying? Maybe package a couple picks. I don't know. Never know.
Well, here's how the 49ers do their strategy. They're going to always take these low-risk players that nobody wants, and they end up being pretty good. Like, this is going to be a player that you guys won't even hear about, but he's probably a disappointment for this franchise. Like, I think we'll probably go for a guy like Colin Farrell from the Raiders because he's got the upside, but probably a disappointment. But you'll probably sign him up for a cheaper deal, like a prove a contract where it's like maybe a high-risk, low-reward type contract. And then he turns out to have, 6 to 7 sacks season. Then he cashes out elsewhere, just like Arden Key did. You get somebody like that. Yeah, you get somebody like that. Or this may sound crazy, but this is under the radar from the Texans. Albonia Oroku from the Texans. He used to play for the Rams. He's a guy that maybe we should definitely get. He's under the radar. Played at Oklahoma too, by the way. But he actually had 5 sacks in Houston on a terrible defense, bro. He actually got more playing time, and maybe that's a guy we should definitely check out, dude. That dude's a beast.
I honestly would like to see us go after someone more proven.
Ooh,
because having an edge on the opposite side of Bosa that is going to bring the pressure,
Chase,
like Yannick
Ngakwe.
Oh, but I think he's going to cost a little more. That's the only downside. He's not a good run stopper.
He's not a good run stopper. So he's a situational pass rusher. So I mean, that's not $20 million a season, but how much is that? That'll eat up most of our cap though. Just signing him.
I'm hoping he's a better choice, but what about the possibility of DeForest Buckner? What kind of price can we get for him if he's going to take something reasonable?
Well, that so far it's just noise about Indy releasing him. They haven't said they're actually going to do it yet, but I've heard noise that they are, and I would love to have Defoe back. Straight up, resign him. Get him back. Maybe even trade like a guy like we're Armstead and his plantar fasciitis. It has me worried.
Yeah, it does.
It has me worried.
I have that problem.
It's like, let's get Defoe back and trade Armstead if we can. That'd be we'll take a little bit of dead money, but it'll save us some on the cap, and we would be able to bring in a Ngakwe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot to get somebody like him, but here's a good question. Bang, bang, not a game. What do you guys think about the linebacker situation? Let's see what Big Mac's got to say, man. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's a pretty solid group, if I'm being honest.
We have some good linebackers, but I don't know if he's going to be even around. Noah Sewell is my guy. That's a big boy. He can move, and everybody's wanting there's like 2 linebackers coming out in this draft, and he's like number 2 that they predict, but he's a guy that we can turn into a pass rusher too. I mean, he's 260 pounds, 6'3", and he runs 4.5 easy.
Ooh, that's a beast, but I think he'll probably be gone before we even draft him.
Yeah, well, they haven't projected in the second round, so all of this is just depending on what they're going to do to make moves in the draft, because they've shown that they've gone up into the second round or first round before to get a linebacker. They went into the first round, so they can move things around like that, but that's just depending on what they really want and what they value. But if you had him right alongside Greenlaw and Fred Warner, you're not going to go wrong.
For that, man, we have a lot of depth there at the linebacker spot. It's just if there's a guy we can draft, we probably can get him in the 5th round. And I don't know if he'll be available, but I think he could move up draft boards. Ivan Pace from Cincinnati, dude. This dude, I think he had like 10 sacks in college, but he's a hybrid linebacker. But I think he can tackle also. So he's a tackling machine. I think you guys might need to check out the dude's highlight from Cincinnati. Ivan Pace. Hell of a good football player. I'm surprised he's not even like rated high. He might move up draft boards, but if we get him in the 3rd round, bro, I think he can do a lot more in this defense. Like, he's a hybrid traditional linebacker, but I think he can do a lot more, like rush the passer too, but he can really like tackle from sideline to sidelines. And he was a transfer from Miami too, so that's another guy to even.
Yeah.
Yep, I want us to beef up the trenches because that's where the games are won. Those 3 straight picks we got, 99, 100, 101. Draft, a center, a tackle, and an edge. I'm good with that.
Yeah, most definitely. As far as like what we're going to do with CMC, bro, he's just going to be our entire offense. We're going to try to use him in the receiving backfield. We're going to use him as a runner, but I'm hoping we don't try to like use him too much as a runner because we don't want him to be injured. We want to keep him fresh.
15 touches a game.
At least, at least around there, right, David?
At least.
15.
Look, when it comes to McCaffrey, we can't be killing the guy. So, and Eli Mitchell doesn't seem to be reliable.
He gets hurt.
So when it comes down to it, we got to do something about that. And honestly, I like Jordan Mason, or I don't know if he wanted to be called JP or not. Not sure. But I like Jordan Mason. TDP seems to be a good short yardage back, but he's another 3rd round pick that I don't know is going to work out. So you know what? When it comes to running backs, why even draft a guy?
That high,
Let's just
especially
wait. Undrafted free agent is where it's at.
or
That's
late
where we
rounds.
found Jeff Wilson Jr. You know what I mean? Is where we found J.P. Mason. Eli Mitchell wasn't he a 6th-round pick?
6th-round pick.
Yep.
And the sad part is we got Trey Sermon and he never did nothing for us.
And
I know he was busy losing the Super Bowl.
and speaking of the Super Bowl,
Oh, Jared McKinnon, no?
hey, speaking of the Super Bowl,
Jared McKinnon
He
playing
won.
all good for the Kansas City Chiefs and didn't do squat for us. It's
Injuries.
like, huh?
yeah, he's staying healthy with them, man. They got like way better trainers or something, man. And speaking of the Super Bowl, it's where the Kansas City Chiefs find their running back Pacheco, man. That guy was hitting the hole, looking fast.
He was a 7th-round pick too.
7th rounder, yeah. So
Rutgers too. I never heard of this guy, and this guy was like, what is it, like 5? Like I think he's 5'11" running back, weighs about 220 or 30 pounds, runs a 4.3, bro.
damn, and he went in the 7th round. He's that big, that size, that speed, that elusiveness. Wow.
And he outplayed what's his name? He outplayed Clyde Belair, bro. Ridiculous.
The 1st-round pick, exactly.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Then they got McKinnon there. Yeah, you think core is gonna change? I don't know about the core. I think we're gonna keep the same talent around us. I think it depends on what guys we're gonna keep. But everybody's gonna have a price. Like I think the one player we'll probably not be able to afford, if I'm being honest, is we got your boy David. We got your brother David from another David. We got the Corona guy.
Corona.
So man.
How's it going, man? We got your brother David.
Oh yeah.
Corona.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the wide receiver core. I think as far as wide receiver cores do, I think we have the solid depth pieces. I think I would want to do whatever it takes to give Juwan Jennings a multi-year contract at least. He's kind of shown his value, but they just don't use him much as a receiver. They use him more as a blocker than as a receiver. But Danny Gray, I want to see the kid develop a little more.
Yeah, man, he got speed. He got the afterburners, man. I mean, we need somebody who can take the top off of defenses and be a threat in the reverse game, man. You see all those plays the Chiefs were doing last night. They kind of took some plays from our playbook, honestly. But it's like, hey, man, it worked for them, and we just need add even more speed because Ayuk has good sneaky speed. Debo's not really a burner except when he has the ball in his hands. When he has the ball in his hands, he's a 4-3 guy. Debo and Jennings, of course, he's a possession guy. So somebody got to emerge as a deep threat. Because Ray McLeod, he's a good number 5. He makes plays here and there, but we need that burner. So yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys think, Big Mac? What do you think of the wide receivers?
I hope they bring back Juwan Jennings, or does he have a tender to sign, or is he?
I believe he's an exclusive free agent, which means we have the rights to sign him.
Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I like the way he played, his physical play, and I think he can develop more. But I agree, we do need some speed too. So speed kills. That's what they say. Speed kills. So if we can get speed in there, but not all the time, because we saw the Raiders, they draft a lot of speed guys and they didn't turn out too well.
They dropped a lot of passes, if anything else. But yeah. But it's important to have different receivers. The speed aspect, the possession aspect, where you don't have to be fast, you can be shifty too, and all that stuff. So,
and you saw Juwan Jennings. I think it was against the Rams or the Seahawks. The game against the Seahawks in the regular season. Well, he just juked the hell out of that cornerback, and so I mean he's got some moves too. So.
I mean, he's got the energy. He's got that. He kind of gives me that throwback version of Anquan Bolden a little bit, bro. Like he just gives me that Anquan Bolden vibes with that Des Bryant attitude.
Yeah, he's feisty and he'll fight too. So I really like the way that he plays because he's not scared of anybody.
Yeah, he ain't.
Jennings and Bolden had the same 40 times too. That's why they slid.
Yeah, 4.72, I believe, or 4.7.
Yeah.
But
We just signed somebody today, linebacker.
Yeah,
We signed
him.
yeah, we brought him in before. He was undrafted last year. I believe he's gonna. I think he made his convert from safety to linebacker since we had him last year. I think he's making that transition. I think he's like another project. Maybe he could be the sleeper at the linebacker spot.
Oh, okay.
Hey, speaking of linebacker, Al Shire is a free agent.
Yeah, he's gonna sign somewhere. He's gonna get paid big time. Speaking of since we're going from D'Amico Ryans to Steve Wilkes, man, D'Amico might even take Al Shire for all we know. But man, are you guys even pumped up about the Steve Wilkes hire, man?
Yeah, I'm pumped up, man. I'm, he got a lot of energy. From what I've seen on videos, like I said earlier, I think he's gonna be the next Robert Saleh, D'Amico Ryans. Keep teaching the great young defenders we got. Keep giving them knowledge, and then him and Shanahan gonna be a good pairing. So, like I said, man, he got talent. He gonna teach the DBs. Finally got a DB guy, so we got a lot of DBs with some promise that can really emerge as good to great players at corner and at safety. So,
yeah. Well, that's pretty much what he makes good as a coach. Is he's got a DB background, so he knows how to coach the players well. They really like to play for this guy. It's probably the most intriguing hire because the fact that the Panthers didn't even give him a head coaching job because he did good as an interim coach on a difficult situation to where it's a lot difficult to win games with that type of talent, bro. Like you trade away your talent and you're playing through a turmoil organization that has no team that can bring, it's been a disaster for the last couple of years in Carolina. So Matt Rule didn't do nothing for them. So he won more games than what Matt Rule's ever won. He won 6 games and didn't even get the head coaching job. And the fact we got him, dude, I'm like, this guy has a blue chip on his shoulder. He wants to be a head coach. That's what I'm looking at. And he's going to be a head coach within a year or two.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Mac, what do you think, man?
I like the Wilkes hire. I was for him coming in, knowing that D'Amico was going to leave. So we need somebody D'Amico was working with the linebackers. So we got somebody coming in that's going to work with our DBs. And if we get the DBs to, I've said it so many times before, their communications with each other sometimes lapses in games. And you see big plays after big plays because they thought they were supposed to go this way, but they didn't go with that player. And so things get lost in the shuffle between the safeties and the cornerbacks. And I think hiring Wilkes, they saw that he could come in and fix that that communication lapse that they had. So I really like that hire because those guys that play in the back end of our defense, if it just gets shored up more, I mean, we have the linemen, we have the defensive line, the linebackers. Now that back end is going to get better. So just adding to a number one defense, I think is crazy good.
Absolutely. And David Corona, man, what's your thoughts on this hiring?
Yeah, I think he would do good, like how everybody been talking. And he does the 4-3 like D'Amico. So, and all our players know how to do the 4-3. So they're in the same page of him too. So
and his coverage will be on point because he does a lot with the secondaries.
Oh, okay.
Because under what Shanahan had in the previous years, he had those coaches with no coordinator experience, and they've mostly had linebacker background. Like the one who actually had the most experience playing at the level was D'Amico, but Robert Saleh was a linebackers coach. So you get a guy with more experience. That's the difference. Like Shanahan didn't get a coach like that. So he gets a guy with more experience and doesn't have to worry about this defense. I mean, he had a lot of trust with his coaching staff, but this guy has the experience. He has the the most experience out of everybody that he's ever had as a coaching staff. And I think Steve Wilkes is going to bring the best out of this defense. I think our coverage is going to be a lot better. I think as far as our pass rushers, bro, he kind of blitzes 10% more than what our defense does. So
that's even better.
You're going to expect a little bit more blitz under Steve Wilkes from what I'm hearing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like the way he coaches in Carolina, if you watch their defense under him, have you seen how they blitz a little bit?
Yeah.
And you've seen their coverage, right? Their coverage is like, I think it's a cover 3 or whatever they had over there.
Yeah, okay.
That's what Steve Wilkes runs is a cover 3.
Yep, cover 3, and that's where his secondaries do a good job. So you look at guys like J.C. Horn, did pretty well. I think the guy they got from the Jaguars, I forget his damn name, but he was drafted. Henderson, he did okay. And even good old Josh Norman, like he brought him in. That's his guy. Wouldn't it be funny if he just brings him on board?
Nah, hell no.
No, I'm just playing, man.
Nah, yeah, I know.
Maybe bring him as a coaching staff member. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
He can coach those DBs on punching the ball down.
He could show the young guys work those guys and how he used to play. Show the young guys the ropes,
or just how to punch the ball out like he did before. Like that's one thing I'll give him the most credit for was he wasn't as great as a cover guy. He didn't have the speed, but he had the mental mindset. But he knew how to force the fumbles too.
Yeah.
But
hey, gonna see Fred Warner blitz more. I'm excited about that. Okay. Green Low.
Say if Kyle Shanahan does get fired, you think Steve Wilkes will be a good head coach for the 49ers?
I don't know about firing Shanahan if that's even out of the question, but I think Steve Wilkes has qualifications. He had experience as a head coach. I think if he were the head coach, bro, he would have the best supporting cast he's had in his entire career. Our defense will still remain the same.
Yeah,
he probably will get a better play caller, but I'm not even thinking about it then, So he's still going to be here, but I think our defense is going to still remain the same.
Yeah, I don't think Shanahan will get fired. Me out 3 years and with the 3 NFC Championship games in the last 4 years. I don't think
they're going to keep him as long as they could.
But Jim Harbaugh did the same thing, and they fired him.
Yeah, he's had a lot of issues though.
He got fired for a different issue.
Yeah, the issues behind the front office, like the issues with him and Trent Baalke and Jed York, just wasn't gonna slide.
Oh,
yeah.
Like you don't see that with Shanahan and Jed York. You don't see that issue. You don't see the issue in the front office. Like, you don't see no head colliding and all that stuff where they're arguing. Him and Trent Baalke didn't see eye to eye, and Jed York wanted to tell Jim what to do, and it didn't work in his favor. He was stepping on his toes, and that's what really stepped the line right there.
Look, Jim, I run the show.
Yeah, Jim.
I run the show. I'm Jim Harbaugh. I do my calls.
Hey, Jed, Jim is mean to me. He's telling me what to do. I want to draft this guy, but Jim says I'm an idiot. Can you tell him to let me draft, please? I know what I'm doing.
I want that guy with the torn ACL.
I want the guy with a medical history. I want the guy who broke the law. I'm going to sign him and give him a lifetime contract.
That's why you're Jim Harbaugh.
Jed, please pick me over Jim. I got your back. I'm going to clean your toilets. I'm going to be your butler. I'm going to do exactly what you say, sir. I just want to keep a job.
Don't fire me.
That kind of sounds like what happened because Jim Harbaugh in one of those meetings that just broke the straw was like, hey, no kids in this meeting. And he
said, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he said that right to Jed York, and Jed York was like, oh, this guy is out of here. He's done.
You got to go.
Yeah. You don't talk to the CEO and the owner in that way. It doesn't matter if you're the head coach and you think you know more than them. So,
right.
Hey, Jed, let's promote Jim Tomsula. He did a really good job. Let's move him up to the head coaching job.
He's really good in the porn industry.
Yeah. Oh, hey, my bad, Jed. Let's hire Chip Kelly. He did a pretty good job in Philadelphia. He checks the box.
He checks all boxes.
No, he sucks. He did. He what? He did 3-13.
No, I think 2-14.
No, 2-14.
Jim Thompson was 5-11.
That's horrible.
Hey, no harsh feelings. I'm going to
Doesn't
go.
matter what's the record. I'm still a 49er fan.
No harsh feelings. I'm going to go to Jacksonville, and I'm going to do better than what I ever did. Up yours. I'm going to pay Christian Kirk a lot of money. Yeah, there you go, San Francisco. You might need to pay Debo a lot of money now. It was the worst hiring because
Hey, man, I'm honestly wondering if Trent Bleak learned his lessons on what not to do with us. You know,
I think he learned it the hard way because it's different in Jacksonville the way he's bringing players.
I mean, you know, but learning what not to do on us. Come on, man. You know, he drafted Lattimore, and I believe he was with South Carolina. I don't know if you guys ever watched the video on the kid's injury.
Oh,
It's
that
like,
kid. Yeah,
why did you draft him? I mean, his knee got the poor kid's knee got destroyed.
Yeah,
It's like chances of that dude playing football again were less than 50%.
Trust me, Chad. The kid Lattimore checks the box. He's gonna be the next Walton Payton.
Yeah, if you ever want to, cringe at something, watch that video. It made me cringe. I'm not one that I don't have a weak stomach and I don't cringe at much, but watching that, it made me cringe.
Oh, let's draft Tate Carradine. He's gonna be a beast at the next level. Let's draft him.
He's gonna be Alden Smith, Charles Haley.
Let's get the kid from Alabama, Quentin Dial. He can dial up the defense. I could just keep going on with these impersonations, bro. He sounds like John Laurinaitis, the guy from WWE. I don't know. I could do so much of that. It's just funny.
Hey, didn't Trent draft Kenton Palmer too? That first round bust.
No, that was
that was him.
That was Scott McCloughan.
Was it?
Nah, yeah. Scott McCloughan. That was before Trent Baalke got moved up to the ranks. He was an assistant at the time.
AJ Jenkins. Yeah, be the next Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Oh, David left. Okay, guys. Let's see.
AJ Jenkins.
Yeah, he's gonna be a beast, guys. You know which guy he really screwed up the most in the draft that I can't get to this day?
Who?
Is how the hell do you pick somebody like he had a chance to get a damn good cornerback, but he's still on our roster to this day. But I think I got to give him his credit. But he picked Jimmy Ward, or was it Jim Harbaugh? I don't know which one who wanted him.
It was probably Trent Baalke. I don't think Harbaugh had much to do with the drafting.
I don't think Fangio even liked him in the fit of the scheme.
Yeah, he was kind of like is he a corner? Is he a safety?
He didn't really play much with Fangio. He spent the first 4-5 seasons of his career just, he played a couple games and then he was out.
Yeah, but
2014 was with Fangio, and he gave him 3 touchdowns to Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, he did, but Fangio didn't use him as much. Yeah. No. Oh, I sound like Bill Clinton. Yeah, I slept with Monica Lewinsky. Yeah, she was a fine dime, guys. I'm from Arkansas. I was the governor there.
I slept with Jim Harbaugh's wife.
Oh man. Hey guys, don't worry. Hey Chad, to make you feel better, I didn't sleep with your wife, by the way. I did.
Oh boy.
I think that's what cut the straw is he probably did.
I got 5 minutes left, guys.
Okay. We'll probably end this pretty soon, man.
So hey, just real quick, the validation for all of the players that went out there, and especially Debo and Ayuk, letting everybody know that if we just had our quarterback, it wouldn't have been a close game. at all.
Or would have been a 2-touchdown game difference, I think.
Yeah, but they were validated with what they were saying. So I'm just glad that they stood up there and said that, and then it was proven yesterday.
But it kind of did look bad in the beginning, but now it looks good on our part now.
Well, think about this. What was on the Eagles' minds all week? You know,
Us.
49ers, we were living in their heads rent free, baby.
And then the Eagle fans were obsessed with us too, and it was like, my God, we never got under those guys' head. And then guess what? They lost.
Took a big L.
Yep.
They had a chance to repeat the same history of it, and guess what? They're the only team that failed. Oh, we got CarCast. But hey, for everybody else, man, go check out Big Mac Sports, man. You guys can go subscribe his channel. He's going to be heading up right now. But I definitely appreciate you on the show, bro. We'll
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you next week if you got the time, man.
Yeah, I got time.
All right, man. Have a good one, bro.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right, later, Mac.
Bye.
Later, Mac. Yep.
Later, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good one, bro. He's a new addition to the Round Check. We just talked behind the scenes. He wants to have a chance to be on this platform, so hey, he's more than welcome.
What's the donut picture represent there, CarCast? Oh, he's muted.
CarCast got them donuts.
Oh, I don't know. I was on.
Donuts.
Yeah, I just changed
Ate that for
mine
dinner?
this morning to new profile picture. I was on my.
Oh, so it
account
doesn't
for just
represent
3
anything. I thought you were going to have something to say about the Eagles.
They are donuts for sure.
Oh.
You know that defense was a donut
Well,
because you could run through their run defense a little bit.
yeah, they
cheaper.
couldn't do anything, man. Like 0 sacks. Kidding me? It's crazy.
They front four, they had like 4 guys with double-digit sacks, man.
Yeah, man, for real. And
Well, keep in mind, they got their sacks in bunches against bad teams. You know,
Yeah.
We're the victim.
they did get 70 sacks, but they were in bunches against bad teams.
But we were the victim.
When they played against us, I think they had 3. But at that point, it was like Josh Johnson, deer caught in the headlights, took 2. And then the Brock Purdy injury counted as 1.
It was like
sure,
it was like the 85 Bears version where they played those type of competition.
Yep.
But we're not disputing the Bears. We're not disputing with the way they were playing. They were playing like the 85 Bears out there.
Oh no. Andy Reid just coached a really good game. He got so many guys open on that offense.
He had some cool gimmick plays, and he did Dobbs some good plays. I was like, okay. You know, I think the Chiefs had like they had a wide open touchdown catch on both sides of the field. Same play, just opposite sides of the field for touchdown, wide open.
It's crazy because it's the same play, but the Eagles still can't defend it. And on one of those plays, I think it was like Darius Slay. He bit so much because they were trying to double Travis Kelce, which just left Kadarius Tony like open in the flat, and it's like wide open on both of those touchdowns. Same exact play, same script, same everything. It's crazy how it's so predictable, but you still can't stop it.
Yep. Yeah, it's unpredictable. But you saw what Andy Reid did, bro. All those 14 years in Philadelphia, he wasted it all, and he didn't even win a championship there. And I can see why the Eagle fans really hate Andy Reid, bro. Can they make a statue for Andy Reid? Can they make one in Philadelphia? Can they make a statue to honor him, or they're going to destroy that statue?
No,
I think he did. I think he deserves. I think he deserves to be in their Hall of Fame, but maybe in the statue.
Yeah, he didn't even win a ring with them.
Nah, but he deserves validation. But then,
just put up a statue of Andy Reid in front of Lincoln Financial Field. Say like, this is what we get for firing him or something.
Yeah, or just go have like a statue in between Lincoln Financial Field and just show the 2 rings with the Chiefs logo under it.
Yep. That sucks, though, because the Eagles actually played a really good game. Both of these teams did, but it was just those simple mistakes. Like Jalen Hurts, the football just slipped out of his hands, and defensive touchdown for the Chiefs just like that.
Little mistakes
it's
is
crazy
what cost
how
the game.
Quick.
Yeah,
and I feel
mistakes
like it's playoff jitters. It's Jalen Hurts' first career playoff star. I mean, first career Super Bowl. It's.
I
I
mean,
think I'm pretty sure it's like Super Bowl
he's
jitters
got.
and stuff.
He had it the previous year. He just lost to the Bucks, but he's getting experience. That's all that matters. But I don't know. I feel
That's
optimistic.
true.
I feel optimistic about this coming year because I don't think the Eagles are going to be the same. They're going to lose some key players. They're going to
They've
have
got
to.
so many free agents. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose James Bradbury. They're gonna lose a
They're
couple
going to at least
players.
lose
That
some
are,
players.
Ox. You know what I'm saying? Ndamukong Suh
it's
probably
funny
lose.
because you heard Debo Samuel call James Bradbury trash, and that's how the Eagles lost the game because of him. Because these stupid refs don't know how to make proper calls.
But that was the right call, I think.
But I don't know.
Yep.
I just don't know about Bradbury, man. I don't know. He admit that he was grabbing on a little bit. So
To be honest, when I saw it on the big screen, I really didn't see much. But that's just me. I honestly really didn't see much. I feel like Patrick Mahomes just overthrew that ball by a mile. Like, I didn't see much. That's just me, though.
But any other holding it makes a difference, bro. They can always look at
Hey,
it.
we're not talking about how many times Lane Johnson false started, are we?
Oh, dude, that dude false start.
When it comes to the refs, they called an even game. Okay, the Eagles fans cannot say anything about it.
Delay of games too.
Okay.
How many delay of games they get?
These Eagle fans are still going to be crying, oh, we didn't get that call.
Oh, we got screwed.
Like,
but how many times did Lane Johnson get away with false start? He jumped ahead.
Dude, he was jumping all game. I was watching it going, why aren't they throwing the flag? Is the ref over there just like sleeping? Is he looking at something else?
See, if McGlinchey, they'll be calling penalties left and right.
They were calling
if it was McGlinchey, he'd be in a flag every time.
But they didn't call it most. They didn't call a lot of the penalties on the Chiefs lately. They were calling it towards the Eagles at that point. They were favorable.
Crazy.
The Eagles had favorable calls, like no penalty call. There was a couple of penalties from the Chiefs that negated the freaking that one penalty that negated the turnover or whatever they had.
Oh, also that Dallas Goedert catch on 3rd and 14. They gave them that as well.
That the ball bobbled.
Catch, man.
The ball bobbled.
Yeah, but they still gave it to him. They gave the
only had 1
catch to
feet.
him. I don't know.
He had 1 foot.
It was a good catch, though.
It was, but what is a catch in today's NFL? I thought you had to maintain control of it at this point.
I mean, that's what the refs called, so I don't know.
The Miles Sanders play, that was a bang-bang play that could have been ruled as a fumble and a touchdown.
I don't see much of Miles Sanders in that game, to be honest.
I think he's already going to sign elsewhere, so I think it's going to come down to a game.
To be honest, hey, I like this Chiefs running back. I like this Isaiah Pacheco. I like that kid. Man.
Pacheco.
He's fast. He's physical. Like when he runs, he's vicious, man. He's coming at you. He's hitting you.
I laid out yesterday too, and he got back up. You know, he hobbled a little bit, but he came back in.
Yep. Exactly, Crazy Juice. They called that an incomplete when it was a fumble. Yep, that was a dumb call.
It was funny seeing the Kelsey brothers reunite after a loss. Jason's like, F you, but congratulations. That was funny, though.
No, they probably just did it out of behind the scenes. They probably love each other at that point. But I think the brother Jason.
They're brothers at the end of the day. That comes before football, obviously. But like,
I'm wondering how the podcast is going to be. Is Jason going to make an excuse not to show up at this point? He's going to be like, man, I got to get over it.
Yeah, motherfucking Kelsey.
It was a good game, though. I was just hoping for a good Super Bowl game.
When will we get a George Kittle Super Bowl win? Because if Travis Kelce is a personality guy, then George Kittle's got to get one at some point. It's just bogus that they're not even letting Kittle get one. Who's the most entertaining guy in football? George Kittle.
George Kittle.
Well, you know, what's been the 49ers' problem since Kyle Shanahan's took over?
Bad play calling at times.
It's one position. One position, a position player. Quarterback.
Everything's good, except the offensive line could be a little questionable.
Brock Purdy comes in. He's not. He doesn't have that stellar arm. Doesn't have stellar size.
He's average.
But he plays smart football, and he can scramble, extend plays, and be a nightmare for a defense.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, we're rattling off wins left and right. Then the kid gets hurt. They bring in Josh Johnson, who did not look like he was ready to even play. And we lost the game. Didn't we have Jacob Eason on the practice squad when they signed Josh Johnson?
He would have been better.
Fullback.
But that's the thing we don't know, though. I'm honestly looking at Josh Johnson like, I don't know why we even signed him. There were a couple veterans here and there available that have done more. But, Kyle Shanahan had to get his guy.
We're probably going to have to keep 5 quarterbacks this year.
Part one in the practice.
I've been saying that. But I'm hoping that – so what we need is a center, because a center is a big piece in Kyle Shanahan's offense. And the career backup that we had starting this year actually started to do better towards the last half of the season, but was still getting blown up. He can't block it. He can't block an interior defensive lineman one-on-one.
Oh, dude,
it's just no.
I don't get how I don't get how some of the content creators are hyping fucking Brendel, bro. What has he done? He's not even.
He's been okay, honestly.
But he's a career backup, though, and he that's how a career backup plays. Is how he played this year.
And
I don't 30-year-old rookie playing out there. Yep.
I don't want to have a.
And I mean, there's a guy that's kind of. I don't know how expensive he'd be. I don't know if it'd be a 1-year contract, multi-year. But that Bradley Bozeman guy that Carolina had,
he could be better.
Carolina actually had 2 good centers this season, and he was on the bench. So I mean, he shouldn't be expensive.
He was.
He would definitely be an upgrade over Brendel.
He did start in Baltimore too, if I'm being honest.
For 4 years.
No, he did.
So I don't know why he left the Ravens when they were going to pay him some decent contract.
Also, can we stop adding defensive line depth and actually add starters that can make an impact throughout the season?
Can we
look at the? Yeah, go ahead.
But dude, the reason why we go at defensive line, bro, because none of them freaking produce or stay healthy. That's the
exactly.
problem.
But that's the thing. Like, look at the Eagles. They've got Fletcher Cox. They've got at least like 5 guys on the line who's gonna start for them. They're not doing any rotation or rotational pieces. Those are guys that are gonna stay in there and play throughout the entire season. And all of them have more than 11 plus sacks. And while here the Niners, you're just rotating guys around and around, just putting guys we barely even seen play or barely we even seen produce. And I get it. We have Chris Kasurek. He's really good at developing these young guys and getting them paid. But, like, we need to have consistent starters out there who can make an impact immediately. We can't just have Nick Bosa by himself, isolated on one side of the line, just do everything by himself.
Well,
and then
why you think we go after edge rushers, bro? Because none of the other guys have stepping up.
That's the thing. We need to get these interior defensive tackles that can make an impact right here, right now. Can't keep getting these rotational pieces.
Well, dude, okay, I'm gonna, we have, for some reason, we have a lot of injuries, right?
Yep.
And this is going to be a prime example. In 2019, the year we went to the Super Bowl, we started the season with 9 defensive linemen on the 53. At the end of the season, 4 men were left standing.
Yep.
The rest were all off the couch guys. It was Bosa, Buckner, Armstead, and an injured D Ford.
Yep.
Those were the 4 guys that were literally of the 9 to start the season.
And the guys we picked up off the streets was DeMontre Moore, who only played a little bit, and then he got injured. And then we picked up Mitchell off the streets, where he was with our squad a while back, but then we signed him to be on the Super Bowl that year.
And the only reason we signed him is because DJ Jones even went down.
Yeah, I think he broke his ankle that season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Telling you guys, hey, make a trade for Chase Young, man. He's on a real
He
deal.
can't stay healthy.
I mean, I'll take that chance, though, man. I'll take that chance. He's that talented.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I would take a chance on Colin Farrell than freaking Chase Young at this point, bro. At least
I want to get a guy like Javon Hargrave. He's going to be a free agent next year.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be available.
He's a free agent this year, but he's also 29 years
sorry,
old.
not next year. This year. Yeah.
Colin Sanders.
Fletcher Cox is 31.
Yeah, I'm not.
The Eagles actually, out of the I think 7 or 8 linemen they rotated, I think they have 5 or 6 free agents.
I think Cox will probably be a little bit expensive, but probably not that much. Probably for like a 2 or 3 year type
Cox
deal.
Is old, man. I don't want to get a 30.
But he's a good rotation guy too.
Oh no!
But I would get Colin Sanders.
I mean, the Eagles, when it comes down to it, they're going to be up against the cap, and they have to re-sign players to be able to be competitive next year.
Oh, you know who we should get?
Kansas City's good. The guy from Kansas City.
You mean Saunders?
Yeah, Colin Saunders.
That's the guy I want. 6 foot, 324 pounds, bro. Eats the entire.
I wouldn't mind. Give me like Josh Sweat or like anyone on the Eagles D line because they're all gonna be free agents this year.
No, I think Sweat signed a multi-year deal. Oh, Robert Quinn, he probably ain't gonna cost much, and he's not the same player.
Wait, what's Robert Quinn on? He's on the.
Well, Justin Houston could be available.
Justin Houston signing.
How about Khalil Mack?
Is he a free agent?
Well, he's gonna be a cap casualty because they got to pay Justin Herbert.
Shoot, man. I hope
that's why.
I want Khalil Mack then. Hell yeah. I hope they cut him. So we get him on a cheap ass deal. Get him he can go with the other Bosa. Get to that quarterback. And wham! We put everybody in the body bag.
Yep.
We put Mr. Stafford into the retirement home. Geno will probably just take a little comeback season, comes short, doesn't do nothing. And then Kyler Murray makes his return, and wham! He gets out of the game. It's going to be a body bag. That's what I want.
Yes, sir, y'all.
All right, man. You guys want to call it a day, man?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's all good. Guess I don't know what's going on, but I guess Dion will probably either come next week or he's just doing the stream, man. I thought we were already going to have a stream with this, but I don't know what's going on. We'll see.
Good show, y'all.
All right, good show, man.
Enjoyed it.
All right. Go Niners.
Go Niners, man.